Hey everybody, and welcome to the finale of Let's Play Phantasy Star 4. Before we go into the other dimension to take on the profound darkness and save the universe, there are a couple loose ends I want to take care of first. Pay no attention to this level 13 file, I'll go over that momentarily. But for now, let's get started. This is the Valley Maze. You might remember this on our way to Tono from Grub. And I actually made a mistake and forgot a treasure box in here. Now, I know at this point in the game it's pretty much useless in every sense of the word, but just for completion's sake and just to correct my mistake earlier, I want to show you guys what's inside. Yeah, 300 Meseta. Now, not so great. Back then, that would have been very great for helping us buy all that titanium gear without grinding. Okay, so that takes care of the first one. Next, I will meet you outside of Molcom, so I'll be right back in just a moment. And we're back. Here we are outside of Molcom. As you can see, I have Alice, Chaz, and Han. This is during my playthrough of that new game I just mentioned previously, and I mentioned this in the LP earlier in the game, at some point, I can't remember when, but you might remember me telling you that you can actually go to Molcom before it's destroyed. And you can. You want to do this on your way to Birth Valley, but before finding out that the professor and his team are turned to stone. Again, you can't do anything here, but for some reason these guys don't like us, and they think we're agents of Zio. And no, you can't sneak around to the outskirts and get in through a back way or anything like that. But I just thought I'd show that off to you guys, again, just for completion's sake. And just to touch up on it more, because I did mention it earlier, and I think I told you guys I would show that off. Well, either way, I just did. So, there's one more thing I want to show you guys, and for that I will actually meet you back in Torrenco. So, I will see you guys there. Hey guys, we're back, and here we are in Torrenco. Just for a reference sake, this is the house that I'm in. It's in the back of the village on the 3rd terrace, and there's an old guy inside. Now this is something I wanted to show you guys when we first went to Uzo, and I could have sworn it was in that town, but apparently I was mistaken. And it's actually here, and you want to examine this bookcase. Oh my. A lustful lali-ho? Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, it's just a little bit of funny dialogue, and for some reason I could have sworn it was in Uzo. Oh well, I knew it was one of the towns you needed the hydrofoil for. And there you go, that's it for all the loose ends. Nothing major, just things I mentioned previously, and I wanted to make sure to take a few minutes to wrap those up. So now, when we come back, I will meet you in the other dimension at that crossroads I mentioned in the previous episode. The intersection where if you go right leads to Prophalis, and if you go left it leads to the Profound Darkness. So if you don't know how to get there, well, watch the previous episode, or just make your way through the dungeon. It's pretty straightforward. But I'll be back in just a moment and I'll meet you there. Okay guys, here we are. As previously mentioned, the path to the right leads to that dead end with Prophalis, and the path to the left is the right way to go. So we want to go left twice and head on up here. Unfortunately, I did not get a defeat axe on my way here. Oh well. May or may not take the time to farm one of those for Grizz's playthrough. But these guys, if you remember, all the way to Holy, get instant death, very easy, when Chaz doesn't get paralyzed. Man, that background is so trippy. Reminds me of Earthbound. You guys remember that game? That was a weird game. Oh, yeah, we are not going to deal with these guys. You know what? Let's try some instant death on those two. And we'll just whittle down this single guy in the middle. They have quite a bit of HP, unfortunately. But Chaz can one-shot them. Yell City. Or he can die, that works too. Thanks, game. This is not going quite as I planned. Good experience, though. Yeah, we may as well bring him back. Also, I know that Raja has Regen and Nassar on the menu. I just spaced out and didn't see that it's on the second page. So I guess I can show off Regen. It's a full revive, as you can see. Very nice. And for 3 TP, he can heal you for like 95 to 100. That's amazing, Raja. So broken. Anyways, we're just about at the end of this place. Oh. Can we get a Moon Slasher? Let's find out. Probably not. And you just defend, whatever. Here you go, easy enough. This finale will be broken up into 2 parts. Part 1 will be everything you've seen thus far, and the final boss. And then part 2 will be the ending and the credits itself. And this is the final screen, so I want to make sure we're all healed up to max. Good there, and there's, whoops, 1 macro I want to set up as well. Fortunately, it's the only one that I find to be particularly useful. So Sander on Rika, Barrier on Ren, those are very important. And because Raja has Blessing, we'll have him do that. Chaz can use the Power Shield, as always, and Rune, you can just do Legion because you're a boss. Yeah. Okay, I think we're all set up and ready to go. Levels are a little bit lower than they were previously because, well, I didn't do all that grinding looking for Profilis. And the Profound Darkness is a giant hairball. That's great, game. Now, depending who you bring here out of the final 5, each person has a unique line of dialogue here. In this case, Raja just says yes. Not really unique. In fact, this whole speech is rather generic. But what can you do? So first things first, get our buffs going, as always. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Once you get buffed up, just go all out. Weak to Holy, obviously, being the demon. Rika, you want to use Shift on herself. The Silver Claw will be very nice damage for her. Rune, just start throwing Ephus out, whatever. Are we in pretty good shape? Yeah, let's go with Saint Fire. Anyways, like I just said, that whole ending speech or spiel is pretty generic, mostly because the Profound Darkness itself has no dialogue. In fact, we never even heard of this thing until like 10 minutes ago. Oh well. It's one thing I wish they would have had more time to expand on, but unfortunately, this being a cartridge, you know, space is pretty limited. And we'll just keep going all out. With Rika joining the offensive, it's 400, nice. Unfortunately, Ren kind of falls behind at this point in the game. If you could use Shift on him, that would be nice. But we can't, so, yeah. Grand Cross did what, 880? It's not terrible. Let's use Geras on Chaz, that should be enough. Man, this thing is ugly. Doesn't look like a giant hairball. You lied to me, game. And, as you may have noticed, Raja just healed Chaz, but it defeated the final boss? What? Oh, don't act surprised. There's another form. Every good JRPG has... Is that going to show up on the recording? I hope not. Yeah, my cat decided to lean up against my computer and turn off my monitor. Well, if it does, I apologize. Anyways, yeah, don't be surprised. Every good JRPG final boss has more than one form. Come on now. Now, unlike the previous one, which primarily used single target attacks, this one has a lot of AoE attacks, just like the second incarnation of Dark Force there. So you want to treat him in pretty much the same manner. But with Raja, it's not an issue. But anyways, like I was starting to mention, yeah, Raja healed Chaz and actually, quote unquote, did I use Negatus? I meant to use Tandle. I'm such a scrub. And it progressed the fight. And that's because, for whatever reason, you actually don't have to deplete the Profound Darkness's HP in order to advance the battle. It actually automatically progresses after a set amount of turns. I don't know if that's a glitch, or if it's the way it was intended to be, but that's just the way it is. So you could just, you know, sit around and defend and heal, and essentially defeat the final boss. Light shower, nothing to worry about. Just keep going all out. Let's mix it up a little bit. We'll use, Nawat, sure. And we'll have you toss out a Gisar. And don't be afraid about using Stardews or TP or anything of that nature, especially if you bring Raja, because he can just restore everyone's TP. So go all out on this guy. Do not hold back. It is the final boss after all. That was a little painful, but whatever. And we'll do another one. Let's go with Tandle, it looks cool. Ren. Yeah, he should be okay. And we'll go with another Gisar. Why not? Although the Guard Rod probably would have sufficed in that case. Alright, got him. And now it's time for the final boss. The Profound Darkness herself, with kick-ass final boss music. I'll be quiet for just a minute. This is an awesome track. Alright, it's final boss time. Yeah. Oh god. As you can see, the final boss has Megid. Alright. And she will spam that constantly. And if you don't have barrier up, you're gonna get fucked. That is a devastating attack. Easily about 250 damage to all party members, give or take. A little bit more on Ren because he's an android, so absolutely have barrier going. But the same tactics still apply, just go all out. And Raja, just spam Miracle. Anytime she uses Megid, go with Miracle, because it heals everyone, including Ren, and just makes her a joke. Why am I not surprised that the devil is a woman? I'm just kidding, ladies, I'm kidding. But now this is where I have to question the censors. Why would you leave this model in the game and remove the enemy model that I mentioned previously? Really? Well, Raja, you can go on the offensive, actually. I mean, look at her. She's this huge naked chick, and everyone is attacking her boobs. But for some reason, they decided to take out the other naked chick enemy sprite, which is not only a lot smaller, but it's a lot less detailed. So you got me on that one, guys. And as you can see here, Rika's asleep. Normally that would be very, very bad, but since we have Raja, I'm not too worried about it. She'll wake up eventually on her own. Let's just keep going all out. If you're bringing other characters like Kira, Demi, Han, and Rika falls asleep, you want to wake her up as soon as possible because she is your only AoE healer outside of Guard Rod. There we go. I knew a ton of explosions around you would wake you up, Rika. So yeah, if Rika falls asleep and you don't have Raja, that could be pretty bad. Definitely make that a priority to wake her up. And let's go with Legion and Miracle. Yeah, pretty much Raja, though, just breaks this fight. He breaks the game. He is so overly powered. It is ridiculous. As you can see, Miracle just completely negates edges, except on Ren. That's because he has a ton of HP. And thanks for wasting your turn. Oh, we're out of St. Fires. Well, I guess you may as well... Do we have a mod? No, we do not have that item, and I don't want to spoil it, so never mind. Can't put her to sleep. That does nothing. Well then, I guess we'll just use a Guard Rod to have something to do. I know Chaz took a hit in the last turn. Now, unlike the previous forms of the Profound Darkness, you can't just sit on your ass and win the game. No, it's not like Final Fantasy 13 2. You actually have to drain all of her HP, and that is not good. Oh boy. That is basically the Psycho Wand. It cancels all of your buffs, and it's the sole reason that I set up this macro here. To quickly get Saner going and Barrier. Now, it is possible that the Profound Darkness will go before... Oh, wow. Oh man, Rune, that was close. As you can see here, she's pretty quick. If you don't have Saner, she could go before Rika and use Medjed. And if you don't have Barrier going, yeah, that would just be really, really bad for you. Let's not worry about using Shift on Rika. Let's just keep going all out. We almost got her. Fortunately, we're out of Legion and Aethys, so let's go with Nagra. You'll be fine, and go right back to Miracles. If she lives long enough for a rune to cast Nagra, I'm going to show you what the distortion effect looks like. I think it looks pretty cool. What? What do you mean there's no distortion effect? Disappointed game. Yeah, that's a little lesser known bug, I guess you could say. So we're in pretty good shape, so just keep going all out. Man, I wish there was more to this battle, guys, but there really isn't. Let's go with Tandle. That does decent damage, I guess. At this point, it's really... I guess I'll just defend. I guess I should have hung on to. Is that right? Yeah, I guess I should have hung on to a Thunderclaw after all for Raja. Normally I don't use Saint Fire in the earlier rounds, but I decided that, well, you know, the last boss can't hold anything back. And you know what? We haven't done Medjed. Wow, come on. Yeah, we're fine, whatever. Rika for the win? Nope. How much HP does she have? Alright, Rune killed her. Lutz beating the Profound Darkness for the win. How just. Well, alright guys, that is the Profound Darkness. When we come back, I will show you the ending for part 2 of the finale.